What's up, everybody? It's Brandon here, your boy, Scourge of Vinyl. You ready for another vinyl collection update? Because I sure as hell am. I've got a ton of stuff. I think I've got like 14 records here to talk about, so let's get right into it. Now, I got a package from a guy who runs a label called Extreme Metal Vinyl. Goes by the same name on Instagram. Sent me a message and he wanted to send me his label's newest record. Little did I know that he was going to include 3 records, all released under the Extreme Metal Vinyl banner. So, first up, this is Furious Trauma, released by Extreme Metal Vinyl, and these are all limited out of 300 copies. This one, number 241. Now, he specializes in releasing albums that have never before been released on vinyl, which I think is very fucking cool. This Furious Trauma record, like very fast, reminds me a lot of the early Bay Area thrash metal bands, like early Exodus, maybe a little bit of like Kill 'Em All era Metallica, and there's some fucking riffs on here, man. It came on red vinyl, right there on the B-side center label. You have the Extreme Metal Vinyl logo, which actually, if you can see, there's an E, an M, and a V, which is pretty cool. This was the first record that Extreme Metal Vinyl put out. It also came with a 7-inch on blue vinyl. This was technically the second release, although they both came together. Furious Trauma Primal Touch is the name of the record. Came out originally in 1992. And Furious Trauma from Denmark. There's the guys. Very nice booklet insert here. Lyrics. All sorts of band pictures and stuff. Extremely well done release here. Between the LP, 7-inch booklet, really nice glossy sleeve. Great stuff if you like thrash metal. Next up, he sent me Entrails. The title of this album is Prophecies of the Dying. Now, I know that he is a huge fan of this album, and I can easily see why. This band is from Norway. This is a black metal album, originally put out in 1997. So, it came out really once the second wave of black metal had already, firmly planted its roots in Scandinavia. It's a double LP on like a cloudy, clear vinyl. And there's a very cool silk screen on the B side, or D side, I should say, with the Enthrall logo. Now, this record, it's a little bit different than most Norwegian black metal records in the sense that it is very riff-centric. There are a lot of riffs to be heard, and the recording quality is night and day between, most of the earlier Norwegian black metal releases, and then this. I mean, if I had to guess, and like certainly when I first listened to this without knowing, I wouldn't have guessed that this came out of Norway in the 90s. The bass work too is extremely audible, very nicely done. Really fantastic black metal record. So check out Enthrall, Prophecies of the Dying, and I will leave a link where you can go to the Extreme Metal Vinyl site if you want to check some of these releases out for yourself. I highly recommend doing so quickly if you are interested, because like I said, these are all limited to 300 copies. And then this is the latest extreme metal vinyl release, and my favorite of the bunch. This is Nembrionic with Psycho 100. This is a band from the Netherlands. This album originally released in 1995. Black vinyl. Numbered 270 out of 300. And this is a really, really awesome death grind album. You can definitely tell that there's some influence from the earlier death grind bands like Napalm Death and Brutal Truth, but it's got an old school feel to it, which is really what drew me into it. It's a shame that this is like such an overlooked record that never got pressed onto vinyl, but thanks to Extreme Metal Vinyl, you can now get it. And man, out of the 3 records that I just showed, this one is tops for me. Highly recommend checking out Nembrionic. It's got like some groovy type elements too. It's just really, really solid. Great riffs on this one. Love it. All right, next up, I already talked about this record, so I'm just going to show it. This is Perverted Ceremony, Sabbath of Behaziel. I already showed the black vinyl version, but there was a repressing of the Die Hard version from Nuclear War Now on this pink and brown swirl that looks like a shitty butthole. Very nice. I love the Die Hard editions from Nuclear War Now because they're usually not that much more expensive than the regular ones, and they always come on limited colors and extra stuff. And the extra stuff that came in this one, if I can get it out, there is a sticker and a patch. Now, sometimes I like to use the stickers and put them on shit. Sometimes I like to use the patches, put them on my vests. Sometimes I like to keep the Die Hard editions complete and just keep the patch, sticker, whatever, flag, whatever comes with it, in with the record, just so I can kind of have like that nice mint copy. And since I already have a black copy of this record, I think I'm going to hold on to the patch and the sticker because I got a different Perverted Ceremony patch that I can put on my vest if I want to. So that's just the collector scum in me talking. But very nice Die Hard edition. I got an email from 20 Bucks Spin. They sent an email to people who have ordered from them several times before, I'm guessing. They're doing a huge summer sale right now. I believe everything in their store is 15 or 20% off. I forget exactly, but the email that they sent to their more valued customers was 30% off, which is a nice chunk. So I went onto the 20 Bucks Spin web store and I snagged another one of these reissues from Funeral Mist. This one for Salvation. Double LP, black vinyl, gatefold. I talked about Funeral Mist before when I showed my Devilry LP reissue. Great black metal out of Sweden, I'm almost positive. The current singer of Marduk Mortis, singer of Funeral Mist. This and Devilry, definitely my favorite Funeral Mist material. And then another reissue. This one from France's Mutilation. This is Ratten Konig, which translates to Rat King. There you have on the cover, what is a Rat King? It's when rats climb all over each other, their tails get tangled up, they get so crowded that they can't move, and they all die attached to each other. So that's a Rat King, and that's what Ratten Konig is. This later era Mutilation stuff is a little bit, I mean, like stuff like Vampires of Black Blood or whatever that one is called, or New Millennium Reborn, stuff like that. If I'm getting these titles even right, fuck me if I'm not. But, you know, that stuff is the Mutilation stuff that I like. But for cheap, a reissue, fuck it, why not? And then a couple titles released by 20 bucks spin. These I did not get as part of the sale. These I had pre-ordered a long time ago, and they came before the release date, which is the point of a pre-order. Come on. But first up, Witch Vomit. This is a mini LP entitled Poisoned Blood. Witch Vomit, I believe, is from either the state of Washington or Oregon. I know somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. But great, great death metal. It's 4 tracks. Beautiful, beautiful vinyl color here. What can I say about Witch Vomit? If you like your death metal dirty, a little bit scary, a little bit grimy, I could throw out a whole bunch of adjectives, but as far as like new death metal goes, Witch Vomit is another great, great band coming out of the dozens, if not hundreds, of great new death metal bands. Their full length prior to this one, A Scream from the Tomb Below, fucking amazing. I don't think I've given this one enough spins yet, but I think I like A Scream from the Tomb Below a little bit more than this one, at least so far. And then next up, Weaponizer. This is called Lawless Age. If the artwork looks familiar, same guy who did the artwork for some of the Perturbator albums did the artwork for this. Except this band is nothing like Perturbator. This is black speed metal. Even have the speed metal logo there on the back. These guys are from the US. Picture stuff like Destroyer 666, Aura Noir, just really blackened, fast, aggressive thrash metal. Weaponizer goes for the jugular, man. They'll rip your throat out and lick up all the blood. Nice purple or magenta, some splatter action there. Really fits with the cover of this. This is a really badass album, man. Makes me want to set shit on fire. Alrighty. Next up, I got this one off of Discogs for very cheap. And yeah, it was like $10, but it's fucking sick record. It really is. This is Soul Skinner with Crypts of Ancient Wisdom. This is a death metal band from Greece. And nothing fancy about this. It's just black vinyl, an insert, band picture, lyrics. And Soul Skinner is just a band that really invokes the old school, man. Like, if you like old school death metal, you know, all the classic stuff, Soul Skinner is a band that's carrying the torch. I came across this album a few years ago on Bandcamp, and I immediately bought it on Bandcamp. I've had this in my want list for a long time on Discogs, and I saw a super cheap copy pop up, so it was easy for me to finally pull the trigger, and I'm really glad I finally have a vinyl copy, because I was cranking this the other day, and I was just like, damn, there's a reason why this was on my want list for so long, because it's fucking great. I've shown a lot of great albums here, but this one, Soul Skinner. And then more sale stuff. Indie Merch Store was doing a 4th of July sale, like 15% off, which basically equated to free shipping, but I'll take some free shipping. Here we've got the EP from Toke. This is Cold. And this EP predated the Stridens Who's LP. So the first track, Det Fin en Prins, ended up on Stridens Hughes. Then there's an exclusive track on here. There's a cover of Cold by The Cure, and then there's a re-recording of an old song by Toke. Yeah, really great. Actually, originally there were 4 tracks on this. This LP release, which just came out in 2017, I think has 4 more songs. Yeah, it's 8 songs total. That's my bad. It's got a G.G. Allen cover, Die When You Die, and a couple other, it looks like reworked songs. Limited to 500 copies. I've already I got this for like $20 on Indie Merch Store, and when I was adding it to my Discogs collection, I saw that there was already some on sale for like $70. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. But I do know that if you ordered it from a certain store, it came signed by Host. So maybe that's why it's so expensive on there. I don't know. It's a cool EP. I love everything that this band does. Awesome cover art there with Host. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that one. And then these last few records are all 2017 releases. This one I got along with that Toke EP. This is Entrails with World Inferno. Steel blue, clear vinyl, limited to 100 copies. It's pretty clear looking, but I like it. Matches with the cover well. This is the first Entrails album without their previous singer. You got a new vocalist on this one. Don't know his name, but I wasn't really sure about this Entrails album, to be honest. I love all of Entrails' previous material. It's classic Swedish death metal, very heavy, entombed vibe. And listening to it on, when I got this copy in, there's nothing about it that really strikes me as great, but it's still a very solid album. I can't listen to it and say, nah, this is bad. It's a good album, but there's nothing to me personally that puts it over the top. Nothing that's, going to make me come back to it, give it a lot of repeat listens. I'm glad I have it. I have the entire Entrails discography, but as far as, their whole discography goes, not their best, but still worth it. If you like Entrails, if you like Swedish death metal, I would recommend listening to it for sure, but there's better stuff out there. I feel similarly about this one when it first came out, Suffocation of the Dark Light. But as I've listened to it more and more, I really, really started to like it. Because when you first listen to a record and you're kind of like, it's just okay. I had that feeling with this one, especially the first song. The first song has a straight up deathcore style breakdown in it. And, whatever. I don't really like deathcore. And when I'm listening to Suffocation, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear old school New York death metal brutality. And I wasn't really feeling that vibe at first, but when you keep coming back to an album, certainly there's some reason why. Maybe because it says Suffocation on it. Maybe because there are some hidden gems in there. But yeah, I'm kind of still on the fence about this Suffocation album. Definitely not their best. I will definitely say that. Came on this nice clear vinyl with white splatter. 500 copies of this. This one, I can go ahead and flat out say that I am not a huge fan of. Sometimes you're going to run into a record by a band that you like that just doesn't do it for you, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the new record from Municipal Waste, Slime and Punishment. for the most part, I hate all like the thrash revival bands that have been coming out of the woodwork for the last decade. Municipal Waste is an exception. I love this band. They just scratched that itch for me. All of their previous albums, even the last one, The Fatal Feast, I thought are great albums when it comes to thrash or crossover. This one, I've listened to it multiple times trying to find a connection with it, and it's just not there. There's not a single song on here that makes me want to come back. There's some okay ones like the opening track, Breathe Grease, Poison the Preacher, the title track. But again, those are all just okay. I mean, I'm trying hard here to find something great, and it's just, for me, not there. I know there's a lot of people that really dig this album, and I think that that's awesome because I like this band and I support this band, but I have a feeling that this record's going to sit on the shelf and collect dust. But, oh well, sometimes that happens. And then lastly here, this one, phenomenal. Broken Hope, Mutilated and Assimilated. This is some of Broken Hope's best work in a while. Nice blue vinyl. The artwork on here, really, really awesome. They re-recorded kind of like a Broken Hope old school medley. It's called Swamped in Gore Hog. So, you know, it's got Swamped in Gore, Gore Hog, there you go. 25th anniversary tribute is what they call it. This one has just slam after slam after groove after groove after breakdown after breakdown. Brutal guttural vocals. I think there's been some lineup changes with Broken Hope in the past so-and-so years, but I think that this band has really finally come together and put a really complete album out, and there's nothing about this album that I would change. I think it's a perfect Broken Hope album. You know, when you pick this up and you think about Broken Hope, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, so I mean, that's it for this update. It was a doozy, shit ton of records. I tried to talk about each one as much as I could without making this video go on for fucking ever, but I'm sure it did anyways. That's it for now. So if you stuck in, if you waited out, watch this whole video, thank you. As always, thank you for watching all of my videos and liking, commenting, and subscribing. Truly appreciate it. So until the next time, take care.